football show sting there.
You don't want to talk about it too much now because you're kind of thinking, oh, is VR going to cancel out and I don't want to get all excited. So you kind of wait till they kick off again and you go, oh, yeah, it's goal. Yeah, we can talk about it now.
4-1, 55 minutes. You were just saying during the sting there, this Ajax team looked the business as well. Lovely to watch.
Yeah, it's just they're really, really easy on the eye. The fantastic way about them. They move the ball so well. They're all really, really confident. They're really young. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are really young lads. And to see those guys playing at this level with the lack of fear is great to see.
You mentioned VAR there. There's been a real turn in the tide over the last couple of weeks on VAR. It now seems like nobody wants it.
It depends who you talk to, really. I think it's a good thing. I just think it's a matter of getting used to it. Yeah, there are problems with it, and sometimes things are done, and you know, I think in the long run, in years' time, it'll just become so much a part of the game. Normally, you'll be asking any questions anymore.
Don't worry, everyone. We're not talking VAR. Okay. So the news came through this evening that Arsenal have stripped Granit Xhaka of the captaincy. Unai Emery's announced this. He told Xhaka this morning that he's no longer so he's been stripped of the captaincy, and he's also no longer part of the Arsenal leadership group.
What a group that must
be. It'd be good to eavesdrop.
I'd love to sit in on that one, what they talk about.
He says Xhaka has accepted the decision, and he's been left out of the Europa League tie against Vitoria on Thursday. Hasn't played for the club since he told fans to F off and all that business when he was booed against Crystal Palace October 27th. Did they have to take the captaincy off Xhaka?
Yeah, I think they did. I think it was always going to happen because, you know, when you say something out to fans, they can be a sensitive bunch. You know, so when you do that, you have to make a point of, oh no, we're with you guys. You know, you shouldn't have done that. You have to keep the fans on side. Because if they side with Xhaka there, you might create this little divide now between the fans and the management or whatever it may be. Not that there's enough of a divide already at Arsenal, but you know, you could really widen that divide or make it worse, really. So I think it was just a safe thing to do. Yeah. I think it was always going to happen. They were never going to leave him as captain because, I mean, it would just be the biggest talking point ever, every week. If the manager backed him and kept him as captain, the Arsenal fans would be, I would just cause more trouble. It's just the easiest, safest decision for everyone, really. It's
a fair point. It's hard to argue because in many ways, you look at what Xhaka has said since the event, and he was talking about, you know, how he said the scenes that took place around my substitution moved me deeply. I love this club. My feeling of not being understood by the fans, the repeated abusive comments at matches and in social media over the last few weeks have hurt me deeply. People have said things like, we will break your legs, we'll kill your wife, we wish that your daughter gets cancer. That has stirred things in me. I reached a boiling point and I felt the rejection in the stadium. I got carried away. My wish is to get back to a place of mutual respect. Let's move forward together. So I would say even if within the team environment, Unai Emery and his teammates are saying, you're like, what they're saying to you is a disgrace, we're totally with you. It's interesting to get your perspective that they're just saying, but we got to do this.
Yeah, you have to for the PR.
Even though it's on the fans, I think.
Keep it. By the way, Arsenal fans are fast becoming the most, I don't know what word to use, but the most kind of fans in the league, you know. I mean, they just seem to be upset now. They're not top dogs anymore, and they can't accept the fact that they're not in that top bracket anymore. And they're almost like children who their dream is slipping away from them, and they're just throwing their toys out of their pram. That Arsenal fan TV should be shut down. Those guys just are an embarrassment, you know. The way they talk on it, and these guys know they're going to get their 15 minutes of fame. I mean, Arsenal is a fantastic club, but their fans are grating, man. The way they treated Arsene Wenger after what he did for him, you know, they wanted to change, they got it. Yeah. Things haven't improved. I think his record is the exact same as Wenger's, if not very, very similar. They just got to accept they haven't got the finances to compete with everyone else right now, and they're not that top-tier club.
And you must have seen it in your career. It's amazing how certain individuals can get scapegoated.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody in the group knows, geez, he's getting a disproportionate amount of heat for what's going wrong here. Jacques is definitely getting that. He's captain, obviously, of Switzerland. He was captain at Borussia Mönchengladbach, I think. He was voted captain by the players. He's clearly a leader.
And I think listen, okay, he might not be their best player, but
sure,
he's not the worst player either. I've watched a lot of Arsenal. I think there's a lot of people getting away with murder there. I think, you know, Ozil's out of the picture now, and he seems to be like, oh, why is he not playing? There'll be a reason that he's not playing. There'll be a reason that he's sitting in the stands, because with the money they're paying him, they'll want to get him on the pitch. But there's something that Emery, you know, he's obviously been challenged by him, or something's happened where he can't put him in the team now, because now it'll be like, well, your behaviour's terrible, but I'm going to play anyway. You understand what I'm saying? He has to some sort of authority over the squad. So I mean,
he doesn't work hard enough.
Exactly.
Like, it's so obvious what the reason is.
And you don't know what went on behind the scenes. Was there an argument? Was there a public, or not public, but an on-field argument? Did Ozil disrespect them on the training pitch and some of that? So something's definitely going on, and he's making an example of him. But
is that Xhaka's time finished now at the club?
No, I don't think so. I think they won't, unless he really wants to go.
I would not blame him to say.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think he's the worst player. He's been scapegoated by Arsenal fans, and they just need to accept they're not what they were. They'll never be, the top dogs in the UK, in England, in the Premier League again. And they're a Europa League team, and they need to just get used to it, really.
Because I've heard people make the point that, well, he's not a guaranteed starter. He often gets taken off in games. That's not ideal for a captain. Then again, I'm sure the players wouldn't vote someone as captain who they didn't think was a good player. So it's hard to work out whether he's worth the place in that team or not.
Yeah, but I mean, the players vote him as captain, and people should just accept that, because he obviously has a personality where people like him, people listen to him, he has an influence over that changing room, and now he's out, who's going to get it? I don't know, man. Arsenal's just an absolute...
Someone from the leadership group.
Oh, Jesus. That would be an office moment, that wouldn't.
Did you ever vote the captain in as a player group?
No, I never did that, actually.
Yeah,
no,
it was a strange one for Emery to throw out to the players.
It's a very strange one, but like...
I'm not sure about Emery as a leader, in some respects.
Yeah, I think that's very kind of under 12s thing, where we all vote the leader in. I think if you walk into any changing room, you can almost sense straight away, right, the captain's going to be one of these 2 or 3 guys here, and after a while, I had spending a period of time with them, an hour or so, you figure out who the captain is, because he naturally will be the strongest personality in the group, who naturally, carry himself in a way that he's the captain, and that's it. He only picks it, he is, because he's the biggest personality.
Yeah. Well, that's Xhaka done, so we'll see how he reacts to that. Emery says in the statement that he accepted it, but I mean, what else is he going to say, really? He's, no, I'm staying on as captain. It's not really going to happen. Chelsea just scored, so it's 4-2 to Ajax, 63 minutes on the clock. Looks like Azpilicueta, we're seeing a replay here. A ball out on the right-hand side to Willian, a few players in the box. It's played across. Abraham stretching for it, and then toe poked right at the death by Azpilicueta.
I tell you what, he took a risk going for that, because he's not 100% sure he's onside there. I mean, it's that old one where he's very close to being offside. He's probably on, but he should still be. I think he's not sure it's going in, but I think maybe it was. I don't know. It's close, but either way, he got enough of a stud on it. Maybe he was going to hit the post anyway. I don't know, man.
It's funny. I'm waiting for VAR after this week.
Yeah, that's just before you get too much.
Well, they
will be looking at whether he was offside or not.
The cameras picked out the referee, so we don't know if this is going to stand or not. I thought it looked offside. Thumbs up, he's given it.
Yeah, it's given. No. I think he was definitely level. But the pace that happened, I'm not sure he knew that was whether it was going in or not. But he took a little bit of a risk going for it. But anyway, it's a goal stands, and it's a great game actually. Very good game of football. 4-2
to Ajax. Meanwhile, Liverpool, a slight scare. They're 2-1 up now in Genk, but it went back to 1-1 when Wijnaldum scored after 14 minutes. Genk equalised on 41 minutes, and on 53 minutes, so about 10 minutes ago, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has put them 2-1 up. That's at Anfield. Elsewhere, Inter 2-1 up away to Dortmund. That'll put them in the driving seat to finish second in Group F behind Barcelona. And elsewhere in Liverpool's group, Napoli being held by Salzburg. That's in Napoli as well. It's only 1-1 there. And elsewhere in Chelsea's group, Valencia 0, Lille 1. Have I got that wrong?
No, Dortmund have gone 2-2 now at
2-2, okay.
Inter,
so a few other things to touch on. I haven't talked to you. Said the Andre Gomez injury was fairly horrific at the weekend. I was just going to ask. Are you the guy who reaches for the phone?
No, not at all. I've got no interest in anything like that. I think when it happened, you realise something serious had happened.
Yeah.
And I've got no interest in looking at that. I'd look away, really.
The news today is Son has had his red card rescinded, which everybody thinks is the right decision.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, he wasn't a malicious type of thing. He didn't deliberately go into to do him. It was just much ado about nothing, really, and it's probably the right decision, to be honest with you.
We were chatting outside. The one of these which really kind of bothered me back in the day, and I think I said I don't want to watch these anymore, was the Eduardo one for Arsenal. It was just a horrible one. Yeah. And I don't think that big... It was the permanent defender.
Martin Taylor.
I really don't think he tried to do it.
No.
He was dribbling towards him, he went over the ball, and his foot was grounded. That's always...
It was just one of those things where I think Martin Taylor was trying to go, it was my chance to, line him up and leave one on him and let him know I'm in the game. And, it was kind of like, definitely going to, let him know that whatever. And it's just like, just an unfortunate thing. But that was horrific. I've never seen that either. So
have you not seen that one?
No, I refuse to look at things like that.
That one's not a good one. And he was never the same again.
No, never. I don't think Martin Taylor was either.
Yeah.
I think, he got so much criticism for that. I mean, he got absolutely... I mean, I think remember Wenger going to town on him. And I think that would affect him as well, the amount of media attention he got as well.
Because he wouldn't be used to media attention.
Yeah,
really.
And he got absolutely destroyed for that. And he never really got over that either.
That was a time when Arsenal felt everybody was out to just bash them up, because generally that was the way to be.
Yeah, and then that was the thing, if you can leave one on him early... And it's just unfortunate that happened. Like, it was just an unfortunate set. But I don't think Martin Taylor, for instance, thought, I'm really going to hurt this guy here. I want to go and hurt him.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunate for both of them, really, if I'm being honest with you.
Have you been on a pitch where something like that's happened?
No, nothing that severe, to be honest with you. No, definitely not.
It's actually amazing it doesn't happen more, really.
Yeah, look, statistically, it's the chances of something happening are very, very low. When you look at the professional game, how many games go on, how many players are participating every weekend. Again, like I said, it's an unfortunate set of coincidences, just bad timing, and just one guy's leg is on the ground, another guy maybe just loses control of a ball, is overreaching, is trying to toe poke it, which is why his leg is high. Yeah. The other guy is at an angle where, normally when you get hit, your leg spins out from underneath you. If you're reaching as well, your leg is at an angle where it's got nowhere to go but break. So it's more unfortunate than anything else.
Did injuries like that ever cross your mind on the pitch?
No, never, to be honest. Well, I won't say never, but there are times where you're going to get nailed, and I used to always just think, just get both feet off the ground, because it's coming here, and you do think, I'm going to get nailed, and then you just kind of think, just make sure, because at least then if both feet are off the ground, the worst you're going to get is a bruise in the morning.
Yes.
But I think it's the ones where your leg is obviously planted, that it's got nowhere to go. So that's the way I always used to. But sometimes you don't see the tackles coming. Sometimes you're focusing, or you're looking for a pass, and they're the ones as well. It's difficult. But I think a lot of the time when big tackles are coming, hang on a minute, there's been a red card here in this game. Daley Blinn's been sent off.
Straight red.
Straight red as well.
And there was a lot of commotion around the ref as it gave it. It was like players were running over saying that has to be a red card, so we'll see.
I think the Ajax players are more upset about it than the Chelsea, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
So I was just talking to you there about bad tackles, and I think we missed one. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I'll have to wait for the replay and talk you through it. But the referee had no hesitation, did he? He ran straight over it. He couldn't get the red card out quick enough.
There was no VAR, there was no anything.
No, absolutely nothing. I mean,
there's a lot of protests from the Ajax players.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to see something else here.
That's not a red card.
Describe it for people who can't see it.
Jesus. I mean, he's gone to ground, Daley Blind. He's got up and he's just reaching. His foot's not even high. I mean, it's low, and he's stuck a toe in. And Tammy Abraham's come running across the front of him.
Just nicked it ahead of him.
He just nicked it ahead of him. Yeah. And I mean, he might have. Oh my goodness! He just sent off another guy, Veltman, for second yellow for protesting.
Wow.
So Ajax have had 2 red cards now.
Chelsea have 20 minutes here against 9 men. All of a sudden, they're 14 down.
I'll tell you what, the Ajax players would want to let it go now, because there's still 5 or 6 of them around him, and this guy's just said, no, there's going to be a
second yellow.
Wait, he downgraded it to a yellow. Is that what's happened?
No. I think Blind got a second yellow. I think the other fella's still got.
I think the referee pulled out a straight red, and he's been told, no, it's only a yellow, but Daley Blind's already. So he's almost. I don't know what's happened here. Someone's obviously said to the referee. I thought it was. I think Veltman has been sent as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Veltman's got a second yellow card.
And Blind got a second yellow.
And Blind got a second yellow?
Blind's was a yellow. He was late.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry, I thought it was. By the way, it looked like he pulled out a straight red, no?
He wasn't quick. He was quick with the red. That's fair enough. Are we seeing a handball here in the box? Oof. It looks like.
Yeah, but I think that's the one that went. No, it's handed by his side on that penalty. I think that was earlier in the thing. So Ajax have had 2 red cards. Daley Blind's with a yellow. Okay,
it was a yellow.
It might be a yellow, yeah.
Sorry, the defender in the room. It was definitely a yellow. It was absolutely yellow. It was late.
It definitely wasn't a red. Thank God for that. There. I'm sorry if I got, because I was talking to you about horrific incidents.
I think there's a lot of confusion here.
And sorry, a penalty as well.
It's a penalty for Chelsea.
What's going on here?
So
sorry, man. I was talking to you and I wasn't looking.
No, it's okay. We've got Jorginho standing over a penalty.
So he did give that handball as a penalty. What order did that happen?
I can't work that out.
So the Daley Blind foul broke to somebody, and then he gave the penalty, went back, red carded Daley Blind for a foul that was outside the box, by the way.
Yeah.
On Tammy Abraham.
That must be it.
So this could be 4-3 with 20 minutes left against 9 men.
That's like the most costly 2 minutes that's ever happened to a team. 2 men sent off and a penalty in the space of a minute. So
right, can someone rewind us and just see? Rewind it about 5 minutes.
Oh, great penalty.
About 5 minutes so we could just piece together for everyone on the radio, because everyone on the radio now was sitting in the car going, what are these two at?
Yeah, look, we've made a complete mess of that.
Yeah, we have. We can only apologise for that, to be honest.
What you need to know is with 20 minutes to go, it's Chelsea now 3, Ajax 4, and Ajax are down to 9 men.
God, that was a catastrophe for us, wasn't it?
In fairness, we weren't helped. It was all over the shop. What do you think of this penalty? So he runs up, Jorginho, and he does a massive little hop right before the ball. Now, it looks deadly, and the keeper goes the wrong way. So it looks class, but I mean, I don't think you're trying that.
No, not in a million years, Jesus, no way. Look, he scores. I think it's his second penalty tonight, so I mean, in fairness to him, he's gone the opposite side as well, by the way, there. So he went to the goalkeeper's left on the first one, and then he just pulled it across the face of the goalkeeper into the other corner on the goalkeeper's right. Ajax making a substitution, double substitution. It looks like 2 defenders or 2. He's taking off some attackers here, because this could be kitchen sink time.
They're going to be hanging
Chelsea,
on. Yeah.
You know, at home.
So, interesting 20 minutes to go at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool 2-1 up on Genk. A few other bits and pieces we're going to get through. So, we are going to touch on Serie A with Paddy Agnew. And then Leicester City are flying high. So, we're going to talk to Damien about Leicester, a club he knows well. Made his debut for Leicester against Manchester United at Old Trafford back in 2001 territory against Roy Keane on St Patrick's Day. So I want to talk to you about that and how you found Leicester generally, because they're flying at the moment under Brendan Rodgers. So back in 1 sec.
Football on Off the Ball
with Paddy Power, the greatest football partnership since Shearer and Owen.
The Pat Kenny Show.
On tomorrow's programme, forget your petrol, forget your diesel, let's drive pollution-free on hydrogen. Julia Roberts and Dolly Parton, we go behind the scenes of Steel Magnolias, reaction to the anacreational sentences, and of course, the breaking news.
The Pat Kenny Show.
With Jaguar.
Tomorrow morning at 9.
On News Talk.
Quality, performance and reliability. Volkswagen commercial vehicles are vans that deliver. And until December 31st, they have offers to match. Upgrade bonuses of up to €4,000 across the range. From 0% HP finance. Leasing options from €56 per week with no deposit and maintenance included. It's time to grow your business with a new Volkswagen van. Take a 24-hour test drive at your local Volkswagen commercial vehicles dealer or visit volkswagenvans.ie and we'll come to you. T's and C's apply. Offer for business customers only. Finance is offered by Volkswagen Bank GmbH Branch Ireland, authorised by the Federal Financial Supervisory Authority in Germany and regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland for conduct of business rules.
We began our search for Ireland's greatest businesswomen some months ago, and now we've got our shortlist. The Image Businesswoman of the Year award stretches across 9 categories, plus the overall Image Businesswoman of the Year. Join 1,000 of Ireland's key influencers on Monday, November the 25th at the Clayton Hotel, Burlington Road, as we announce the winners. The evening will include plenty of treats and surprises for all, as well as the great reveal. The Image Businesswoman of the Year awards, sponsored by Liffey Valley, BMW, Samsung, Number 7, Kuehne Nagel and Queen's University. Details on image.ie.
Proudly supported by News Talk.
Throughout Europe, one name stands out for windows and doors: Ocnoplast. A perfect combination of elegance, style and modern technology, providing more features for windows than ever before. Expect more. Think Ocnoplast. Premium quality windows and doors. Dublin, Cork and Galway. Ocnoplast.ie. Visibly more.
From music to rock out to, chill out to, and dance to. From sweater weather to workout playlists. Whatever mood you're in, Go Loud has music to match. Download the Go Loud app now or add us on your smart speaker. Go Loud. Podcasts, radio, and music to your ears. Go Loud!
Sky TV with Netflix and Sky Broadband too. Cue comedy, superheroes and more. Cue Netflix originals galore. Cue Sky Atlantic's drama showcase and watch at your own pace. With broadband up to 1 gigabit lightning fast speeds to sort out all your online needs. Get Sky TV, Netflix and Sky Broadband from €59 a month for 12 months. Search Sky 59 today. Offer ends 11th of November. Available in selected fibre areas. Set up fees, T's and C's apply.
This is the sound of a Volkswagen master technician servicing your Volkswagen using their expertise, specialist tools and Volkswagen genuine parts. It all clicks perfectly together, making sure your Volkswagen stays a Volkswagen. Book a classic service from €169, including 1 year complimentary roadside assistance at volkswagenservice.ie, and make sure it stays a Volkswagen. Terms and conditions apply.
Have a great evening with itsforwomen.ie. Don't live your life on hold. Get a quote now at itsforwomen.ie and see why we're trusted by over 130,000 women in Ireland.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
All right, welcome back. So, look, during the outbreak, Damien Delaney's been beating himself up that he made an absolute mess of describing what's happened in the Chelsea match over the last couple of minutes. So you have now a chance to redeem yourself.
It's 4-4, and it's definitely 4-4. Out-swinging corner, Tammy Abraham with a towering header off the crossbar, came back, and Reece James with a fantastic finish on the volley through bodies into the far corner. So it's 4-4. Ajax have 9 men. Chelsea really would fancy their chances here. No, having said that, Ajax just had a chance where Kepa just tipped a long-range effort over the bar, and Ajax now have a corner with 9 men. It's referees getting involved. This fella, the referee likes getting involved in this game. I mean, 11v9, I'd fancy Chelsea. Yeah, okay, we're good. I think I'd fancy Chelsea tonight, to be honest with you.
Are you feeling better now? You redeemed yourself?
Yeah, was that good enough? Then I got the old out-swinging corner, towering header, got in the old...
All the details.
I did, yeah.
We're still not entirely sure, not to dig up the mess that was pre-ads, but we're still not entirely sure how, in the same kind of sequence, Daley Blind got his second yellow sent off.
I think what happened was...
They let it play on, I
think what happened was when Daley Blind committed the foul, the ball broke loose to Reece James, who had a shot, and the ball caught...
Ajax player on the hand.
I think it was Veltman on the hand. Yeah. And so I think the referee gave them the advantage, then gave them the penalty, but then went back to book Daley Blind, which I think is a touch harsh, because here we go, Chelsea. Scramble.
Edge of the area, Chelsea, another go.
Oh, brilliant.
Headed clear, another effort.
God, there it is, 5-4.
Wow.
Oh, that was screwball scramble stuff, that was. It was bouncing round. Azpilicueta again. There's 2 or 3 Chelsea players had digs there, so it's only 7 minutes since the double red card, and they've already got it to 5-4.
Wow.
Ajax players complaining about something. Listen, there was an awful lot happening there. The ball was rebounding and pinging and in and out and in and out, and I think that's where the 9 men caught Ajax, because when it broke to the edge of the box, they didn't have anyone there because everyone was back inside the box defending, and Azpilicueta had a relatively free shot.
As late as 62 minutes in this game, Ajax were 4-1 up. And now here we are, and it's 5-4 Chelsea. So Azpilicueta made it 4-2, and then 5 minutes later, 68 minutes, the double sending off.
Look at that.
Blind was sent off, and then Veltman was sent off for giving out about Blind being sent off, and there was a penalty, which Jorginho scored.
And in fairness, Ajax, they're throwing bodies, and they really are like, dogs of war stuff here. They're looking at the 6 or 7 of them just throw themselves in front of the ball there. Block, shots, everything.
It kept falling to a Chelsea player every time.
Yeah, I think they're complaining about the ball hit Tammy Abraham's hand there, but I don't think it did. It's a good finish. I think they might go back.
Oh, VAR.
Yeah, it hit Tammy Abraham's hand.
It's been ruled out.
My goodness.
It's been ruled out.
What's going on here? His hand's by his side. It's ricocheted off him from like about a yard. He can do absolutely nothing about that. This referee's lost it, man. It's not our fault, it's him.
That's the handball rule now, though, isn't it?
I mean...
No, it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's insane, man.
OK, so it's 4-4.
Let's stick with this. This is a good game.
There is a point whereby all the things we'd planned to talk about have been ruined by this game. So 80 minutes on the clock, and it's now back to 4-4. VAR has ruled that one out. That is the killer of VAR, though, in that Azpilicueta, the whole stadium goes nuts. They have this magic moment, 5-4, go ballistic, and then it's chalked off. Now that I'm seeing what it's been ruled out for, I mean, Tammy Abraham isn't even looking at the ball, and his hand is by his side.
He's just facing the other direction.
I mean, I don't like that.
The ball's ricocheting around, and someone's had a shot, and he's just kind of trying to follow the shot in. He's not even looking to hit someone, and it's just his hand is pretty much on his hip bone, so he can't possibly be any more. And I mean, listen, that stadium now has just gone flat. But look, it's 4-4. I still fancy Chelsea. They got like 11 minutes plus injury time, so
they do.
Frank looks decidedly unhappy there on the sideline.
So Leicester.
Oh yeah.
You know Leicester. You signed for Leicester from Cork in 2000.
Yeah.
Peter Taylor brought you over then.
Peter Taylor brought me over. Yeah.
I don't know much about Leicester, the town. I don't know much about the vibe amongst the fans. Are they a forgiving crowd? Are they a tough crowd?
No,
Tell us about Leicester.
It's a good club. It's a really good. I went over when it was still at Filbert Street. you know, and hit the
good old days.
Yeah, the good old days like that. And I remember then I was there as the crossover to the King Power Stadium. Is that what it's still called? Yes, the King Power Stadium still, isn't it? Yeah. So
Martin O'Neill had just gone.
Martin O'Neill just left. He went up to Celtic, and Peter Taylor was given the job, and then I went over and ended up signing, and it was great times. Into digs, living with a family, 18 or 19 years of age, and
is Leicester a big place?
Yeah, it's a big enough city, but I mean, it's right in the Midlands. When you got Nottingham, that's half an hour away, Derby, kind of Birmingham's only maybe 45, 50 minutes away, so it's kind of right in the middle there of the country. And I always remember that one of the best things we were playing there is nowhere was more than 2 hours away, so all away games were only 2 hours up to Manchester or 2 hours to London, you know.
And were the fans kind of, look, we're plucky underdogs and we're going to enjoy any success as a bonus, or were they almost thinking, well, look, we, you know when...
No, they've got no airs and graces about
Newcastle fans that have a sense...
No, definitely not. They don't have that. I mean, they're a great bunch of fans, but like most fans, they win, and when the team isn't doing well, they'll complain, but they're never the type that would, you know, turn on the team in a massive way. You'd always get one or two fans that do that, but in general, I mean,
there's no Granit Xhaka moment.
No, there's a great amount of pride in the team, and they love players if they work hard and run around, and they really will. And my memories of that is the Leicester fans were amazingly good to me, and even when I went back there as an opposition player, you know, they were always give me a little bit. I never got booed there. I always got a little bit of a cheer, and you know, had nice things said. So they're a great bunch of fans, knowledgeable fans. And it was a fantastic period in my career.
Your debut was at Old Trafford.
It was, yeah.
I didn't know this at all.
No way.
Against Roy Keane.
Yeah, in 2001 maybe. But it was the back end of that famous '99 team. Yeah, it was. So I think Keane and Butt played. I played centre midfield that day, actually. Imagine that.
When did you find out you were in the team?
Just before the game.
What do we think about this policy? Funny, we mentioned Roy Keane. He finds out at Anfield as a 19-year-old. By the way, you're playing tonight.
Yeah.
Would you have it that way?
I would, yeah, for me making my debut, because I think if I was told early on in the week, you might psych yourself out of it, or you might not sleep. But I mean, this was the day when squads were only 16, and there was 17 going up there. So I genuinely was so happy that I was going to get to go to Old Trafford, because I'd never been before. So I was going, oh my God, I'm going to see Old Trafford. I'm going to watch Man United today.
It's Man United.
Right, and I was just thinking, I was super excited for that. And then all of a sudden it was like, got down like at 12:30 before we left to go, or whatever time it was, and the manager just flipped over the chat and my name was on it, and I wasn't even looking. I remember Adi Akinbaye, who was in the team, and I remember him just like nudging me with his elbow, and I was like, what's the matter with you, Adi? And he went, look, and I looked up at the flipboard and my name was there in centre midfield. And then by the meeting was over, we were on the bus, and then driving up to Old Trafford is a daunting thing, you know, because as you're arriving up in the bus, you can see this huge stadium, and then you arrive, and before I knew it, the game kicked off.
Were you able to get word to your family?
I think my dad and mum and dad were coming over anyway.
Go away.
Right, just to because I think it was Man United, and I think they wanted to go and watch Man United, and I knew I was travelling, so I think they were kind of going, oh well, if you can get us a ticket, we'll come over. Yes. So it was that kind of a way, like, you know.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, right, and obviously Roy was there, and when another little bit on that story is it was Dennis Irwin's 500 Premier League game, so Dennis Irwin was actually captain on the day, and Roy wasn't, you know. So
it's a big day for Cork.
Yeah, St Patrick's Day, Roy, Dennis, myself. It was a great day.
We dug out the team just to remind us. So, well, I mean, look, we'll get on to that Leicester team of yours, because I remember that, you know, a lot of those players were really serious, good Premier League players. But the United team, I'm sure people might be interested. So, Gary Neville, Irwin, Stam, and Phil Neville is the back four, which I can't quite make sense of. So Irwin, on the basis of this, was playing centre half with Stam, which
No. I think it was Neville played centre back.
Phil or Gary?
Gary Neville played centre back, Phil played left back, and Dennis played right back.
That'd make more sense. And then blast from the past, Jonathan Greening.
Yeah.
Man, I remember Jonathan Greening coming through, and they were high hopes. Yeah. This guy really, but it never quite happened for him. So it's Greening, Scholes and Keane and Butt. Who was on the left-hand side that day? Don't tell me they shifted Scholes out onto the left hand. Can you remember, was it Butt and Keane you were having?
Who was Sheringham play?
Sheringham Solskjaer.
Yeah, so Sheringham played at 10, Butt and Keane, and I think it was Greening on one side and Scholes on the other. But he didn't stay out there, he was just utterly, you know, I was playing in midfield, and I always remember it was like Sheringham and Scholes just kept popping up behind me, and I didn't know which one to mark. And I was like, oh my God, there's two of them. And that was a steep learning curve, that was.
Well, like the intelligence those two.
Oh, Teddy Sheringham was a Rolls Royce of a footballer.
Amazing.
Like, unbelievable.
I'm with you all the way.
Good, man, because and listen, he's obviously something you go, oh, he's great, but like as a kid growing up watching him, you know, at Tottenham and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden I watch him, he's just
gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, even I was going, oh, it's brilliant, Teddy. Teddy, stop it. Just the ease that he made the game. Like, he was just, you know, his pass was nonchalant almost, and he just had that air of confidence about him.
And quite late on, did he win PFA Player of the Year, or he had a real tilt at it?
Oh, he won it, yeah.
He had an unbelievable season, really late on.
Yeah, he was just fantastic.
Where I always think of Sheringham just in total control of everything was that it was around that time that the treble season, Newcastle in the FA Cup final, and him and Scholes played a 1-2 in the final.
Yeah.
But I mean, Teddy's just balanced and he just lays it off for Scholes.
Yeah.
And he's just
effortless is the word. Yeah, it was just like playing apart with his mates, just sticking. Yeah.
So he's popping up behind you and in pockets, and you're like, I
he was. And so it was a steep learning curve for me, and I really enjoyed that day. And
what was Butt like?
I mean, listen, I was in the midfield against Butt and Keane, and they like just absolutely got mullered. Like, you know, I mean, physically the two of them were just kicking lumps out of you.
Because Butt was the real white, you know, big hope in the class, like as a youth player, because he scored goals, a lot of goals as well, and they obviously dried up a little bit in his role in the team. So,
but I think at that stage he was like. He was joining in a bit more, and Roy was more the sitter.
Sitting back,
you know, I mean, obviously, you look at the two of them, you think they're both like sixes. They weren't, though. I mean, Butt was just joining in, running past me, or trying to stay with him, and, you know, they were just causing carnage, but they were in total control that day, and we got... When the goals scored, you know, I remember it was quite late. Obviously we were unlucky, like, because they battered us, but I think both goals were scored relatively late, kind of 85 plus minutes, and I remember one was in injury time possibly.
Man United struck late on, more than 67,000 fans, Old Trafford. Substitutes Dwight York. It was amazing the way York went off a cliff after the treble. And Mikkel Sylvester scored in the dying minutes to send United 17 points clear at the top of the Premier League.
Oh, memories. Another 17 points adrift in November.
My God. York scored in the 88th minute.
Yeah,
a huge deflection to help Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's shot past Simon Royce in goals.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, we almost held on.
United handed a league debut to teenage goalkeeper Paul Rachugaba. I don't remember him.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I remember
he was 19.
Yeah, he went on loan. He actually was involved in an incident with an old teammate of mine, Ben Burgess, at Hull, and Ben got into a collision with him and ruined his knee, and he never got back playing again.
All right.
Yeah.
Barthez was on the bench. He got injured in the warm-up. Who is he talking about here? An Irishman, St. Patrick's Day. Oh, he's talking about Dennis Irwin, you're right. The reward was the captain's armband.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
They created the better chances even without the rested David Beckham. I'm looking here for any mention of a debutant.
Absolutely nothing.
It's actually all just about Manchester United.
Yeah, probably.
That Leicester team had a lot of good players.
Yeah, it was very good.
Who were the standout guys for you back then?
Frank Sinclair was always a good player. You know, I was at Chelsea when I forgot about Chelsea. I always like watching him.
Muzzy Izzet was
oh yeah, there you go. Muzzy was the best player. He was unbelievable. Robbie Savage was there. Neil Lennon was there, although Lenny left and went to Celtic with Martin not long after, so I need a short period of time with that there.
You had an aging Tim Flowers.
Tim Flowers, yeah. Gary Rowett, Matty Elliott, Andy Impey was a good player. Dean Starr was a great finisher. Yeah, I remember the only reason I played that day, because I'm looking at this team here, there was loads of injuries, right? Which was I think why I went up, and I think it was a flu bug or something that week, and then there was a few lads out injured anyway, but yeah.
Meanwhile, Brendan Rodgers and Leicester are third now.
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Yeah, I like him. I really do. I do. I think he's a very good manager. I think the Celtic move was a fantastic move on his part to go up there after kind of, listen, Liverpool fans liked him, but they don't love him the way Klopp and this, that and the other. But, you know, it's a great place to rebuild your reputation and learn without any severe pressure up in Scotland, because he's going to win leagues. And
I think a lot of people were, so like in some respects that was his rehabilitation to a point, and people were unsure how much credit to give him. But now he's come to Leicester, and this was almost right. This is the litmus test.
Yeah.
They're third and they're fine.
I think he's done really well, and it was a great move to go up to Celtic, rebuild himself, evolve as a coach, kind of let go of the Liverpool situation and everything that happened there, and the fact that it didn't finish all great for him.
Because the Liverpool thing is almost, in some respects, it was his departure. The kind of summary was, well, Luis Suarez, they were a bit of a one-man team. Once he lost Suarez, couldn't really get much of a trick out of them, which I always felt was a bit harsh.
That's very harsh. Yeah, I mean, you don't get to the brink of a Premier League title with one player. You just don't. I mean, you have to have a good. And they had a great team that year. You know, Sturridge was on fire. Coutinho was fantastic. Gerrard was still at the top of his game. Sterling, by the way, was there as well. You know, so that was a fantastic team. And yes, Luis Suarez had that magical season where he scored 30+ goals, whatever he got. But they were a great team, like very, very good team. They just couldn't get over the line. Brendan then obviously fell apart the following season, and then he went up to Celtic, and I'm glad to see him back down. And if he does well again, I could see him getting another big job.
Because, like, I know you always watch the game in a very tactical way, and you like to see what's a manager doing. Rodgers on that front.
Oh, well, listen, tactically he's very, very good. I mean, he's out of that Mourinho school. You know, he played his trade at Chelsea, and it was Jose that really gave him a start at Chelsea, because he was under 23s manager or reserve team manager. Well, actually, I think he was academy, and Jose was the one that promoted him right through. So he has a lot of time for Jose. So he's a very, very thoughtful manager.
What about the David Brent stuff?
Look, man, people can say everything you want, but the one thing you got to look at when you look at a manager like Brendan Rodgers, the players run around for him. So whatever you say about his public persona and how he is in interviews and the Brendan Rodgers kind of ways,
brand.
Yeah, you can laugh at that if you want, but I tell you what, if he's an idiot, the players will see through that quickly and they won't believe in him. But he has a lot of great ideas. When you watch Leicester now, they have some fantastic ideas and the way they play the game. So when he's giving these ideas to the players on the training ground, if they don't believe in him or they think this fella's a bluffer or a mad, the players will go, really? Oh, okay, I'll do it. But they won't do it. But they don't. You watch him, they really believe in him. And they really commit to him. And he asks them to do something, they really do it. And the same up in Celtic. You know, I can't say Brendan Rodgers ever had a team that was lethargic or didn't look like they believed in him, or he wasn't inspiring them. So whatever, people might not like it, but whatever way he has with the players in private, they believe in him and they run around for him, and that's the most important thing. And I think he has the players believing, and he does have look at Klopp there, he's a special rapport with his players. I think Rodgers is similar. You know?
Leicester can hang in here, can
they? I do. I really do, because Man United aren't coming anywhere near it. Arsenal aren't either. Spurs are probably going to self-destruct at some point this season, even more than what they already have. It's a great opportunity for them to get back in the top four. I really do. Obviously, the other two are gone. They can hang on in there, and with the confidence, and Brendan definitely can kind of ride that momentum all the way into the back end of the season. And you got to remember, Leicester have won the Premier League recently, so you know, there's a couple of good. It's a great story, and I hope they do. And I like Brendan Rodgers, and I think Leicester are a fantastic club.
In some ways, they've done well not to let the League Championship winning season almost hang over them and be a massive hangover for 5-10 years and be a thing, but they've kicked on. I got to take a break, sorry. So Liverpool 2, Genk 1. By the way, if you're wondering about Paddy Agnew, I recorded that chat with him earlier, but there was just too much madness happening at Stamford Bridge, so we decided to hold it.
Left that one go as well. Yeah. It's petered out to a boring 4-4.
4-4, a bit boring. But we'll play you Paddy Agnew tomorrow. He had loads of interesting things to say about a whole host of players and incidents, so that will be on the way tomorrow. That is in the can, and we'll bring it to you. Late chance for Chelsea to make it 5-4, just pulled wide. So 4-4, they're into added time. Liverpool 2-1 up on Genk. I'll run you through the other scores in just a sec.
Off the ball
on News Talk.
Bring the day. Bring the new home.
Congratulations, the house is yours.
Bring new life. Bring new beginnings.
Enjoy college. Call us.
Bring the new year. Whatever change life brings, embrace it with a new Volkswagen. Discover unmissable offers and low-rate finance across the Volkswagen range. Search Volkswagen 201 and bring the change. Terms and conditions apply.
It's hard to break a habit of putting businesses into boxes. They are safe hands or visionaries, numerate or creative, analog or digital. At PwC, we think beyond the expected. Perspective is everything. In an era of continual change, businesses with vision look for partners who can drive transformation. Problem solvers who share an ambition to shape the future, not simply follow it. PwC. Think beyond.
Hey, are you ready for a good time?
The star of Comedy Central's Daily Show is coming live. Trevor Noah.
He eats here. He sleeps here. I'm like, does he know we're here? You can touch anything.
Trevor Noah, Loud and Clear Tour. Saturday, March 21st, 3 Arena. Tickets from €50 go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. Maybe subject to fees. Presented by Aiken Promotions in association with the Irish Times.
Can we take a selfie? Are you on Instagram? I'll just put hashtag the man.
Imagine Bus Connects, an efficient, reliable bus network for Dublin, taking more people to more places more often. Better for the future needs of our growing city. That's why, based on hearing from 50,000 people, we've revised our bus network proposals to bring better bus services for Dublin. You spoke, we listened. Now we want to hear from you again. So we've opened a second round of public consultation. For details on the proposed bus services, how to give feedback, and to check out our new route mapper, visit busconnects.ie. Bus Connects is an initiative of the Government of Ireland.
Zero. That's what SEAT want to talk about today. Nothing. Nil. Because SEAT is offering 0% PCP finance across the whole range. Nada. And there's nothing better than the knowledge your new SEAT's minimum future value is guaranteed. It's all part of the SEAT 201 sales event. You can also download a discount voucher from our website worth up to €2,000 and take a 3-year service plan for €299. Visit SEAT.ie and get to your local authorised SEAT dealer before the sale ends on November 11th. Finance is made under a hire purchase agreement and subject to lending criteria. Volkswagen Bank GmbH Branch Ireland is authorised by the Federal Financial Supervisory Authority in Germany and regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland for conduct of business rules. Visit seat.ie/201 to find out more.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
Right, we're pretty much done. Our football coverage football show brought to you with thanks to Paddy Power. The full times for you. It's gone full time at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Genk 1. We have Napoli and Salzburg 1-1 in that group, which would be a nice result for Liverpool if it stays that way. They're into added time. Borussia Dortmund have come back from being behind 2-0 down against Inter to win that game 3-2. Has it gone full time? It has. That's a big result for Dortmund. Inter and Dortmund kind of tussling out to see who'll finish behind Barcelona there. So a 3-2 win for Dortmund at home in Germany this evening. In Group G, Lyon about to beat Benfica by 3-1. And then in Chelsea's group, Valencia in the end 4-1 winners at home to Lille. And Chelsea 4, Ajax 4. We touched on this earlier on, but just for people who didn't catch it or are listening to the podcast, the Kovacic-Jorginho thing at Chelsea is really interesting, the way they've turned it around. They look brilliant. I was watching the Watford game at the weekend, Jorginho's pass for Abraham's opener, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing how a bit of a change of scene can drastically change how you look at players, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think managers are freeing them up a little bit as well. Maybe Sarri was a touch more regimental with the players, or had them kind of in confined little jobs that they had to do. Frank looks like he's opened that up for them a little bit and let them express themselves a little bit more.
So that's us done for this evening. You're back in tomorrow?
Back in tomorrow night,
Okay, good man. Lots to talk about. We'll do all that between 7 and 10. OTBAM back tomorrow 7:30 in the morning. And up next, it's Tom Dunn. Good luck.
Give him a ball and he out of grass. He'll give you a move for the perfect pass. Give him a ball and he out of space. He'll give you a move with godly grace.